Our church home is a gift bestowed upon us by previous generations. The roots of our church began in 1810, when the 17 members of the Meredith Bridge Religious Society incorporated to build a meeting house on Province Road. In 1836, the original meeting house burned down, and within 3 months a second church was built near the location of the present Gale Memorial Library by the newly incorporated Congregational Society. Many renovations were done to this original Congregational church over the remainder of the 19th century, including replacing the original domed steeple with a classic tall steeple. Our current magnificent stone church building was constructed between 1906 and 1909 on what was then called Depot Square, and today remains a centerpiece of downtown Laconia, where our congregation gathers to worship, to celebrate, to learn, and to serve. Our commitment to share our faith and be God's hands and feet in this community is as solid as the granite from which our sanctuary is built.
My parents came here before my older brother was born, and we've been coming pretty much every single week since then. I've been raised throughout the church, going to church school, youth groups, church camps, and now I teach church school, so it's kind of coming full circle.
People are just open and friendly, and they don't just talk the talk. They really do receive new people well. They engage them.
Newly retired, I wasn't adjusting to retirement as well as I had hoped. We looked around at some different churches. We came here, felt comfortable. We were accepted and welcomed, and it's been probably, other than being around our grandchildren, it's been the single greatest benefit to moving up in this area. The church has been so important, and the people of
I
the
always
church.
went to church, but I didn't have as much of a personal God as I do at the present time from us, but there's always the church. And I can't imagine not having it in my life. I am truly blessed because of the church.
I've had many experiences here which have inspired me. It just impressed me how much effect a church or a faith or a change can make on a person's life.
Actually, I am amazed. I have never seen a church that was a downtown church before to be so involved with the things they do for the local organizations, for the things they do for individual people.
The stable thing is the faith and the spirit and the sense of God with us here in this sanctuary and in this place.
The children's story time is a wonderful time for adults. We can learn a lot from that.
It's a place where I feel like we've grown as individuals and as a family as well.
For generations, the Carillon Bell Tower has not only welcomed our congregation, but has also signaled the hospitality of a broader outreach to the world's helpless, hungry, and needy.
I think one of the things that's really significant is that in many ways we have two congregations. We have a congregation that arrives on Sunday morning, but we have another congregation as well that uses this building. I mean, 26, 28 AANA or Al-Anon meetings a week. And one of the things that I find really powerful is that someone once came into my office and said, you know, when we're talking about getting together for a meeting, all we have to say is, we'll meet at the church. We don't have to say the Congregational Church of Laconia. We don't have to say the Stone Church, downtown Laconia. We'll meet at the church. And if that doesn't say that they are a part of our congregation, then we're mistaken.
I get very excited about the use of the parish house, which, the majority of the activity there is from folk who have no relationship to our church at all, but the things that are going on there are meeting their special needs, and we provide that space for them. And that's a very important part of my Christian citizenship, so to speak.
Well, I know that our congregation has many outreach ministries through the Salvation Army meal that we provide, the Hands Across the Table meal that we participate in, through Better Together and the activities there, through Got Lunch. All of those, I think, are very important ways that we kind of reach out to the community and bring people into the spirit that we hold dear here.
Our magnificent pipe organ and choirs have made the building resound with music celebrating God's presence.
Well, my first experience in this church was the choir, and that feeds my soul. The experience of music, the spirit of the director and the choir, it all feeds my soul, and that's a very important part of my spiritual life.
A parish hall and education wing was added in the 1950s to enhance our mission of fellowship and service. The generosity of earlier benefactors has sustained our spiritual home for more than a century. The time to renew this gift and ensure its landmark presence for future generations is now. Our entire church family has participated in a thoughtful, inclusive, and strategic planning process. Our universal hope is to make the entire church facility accessible to all.
One of the exciting parts of this project is that we will become as open, as welcoming. No matter where you are on your faith journey, you are always welcome here. And we will look that way on the outside as well as being like that on the inside.
Start talking about the potential and where are we going and where are we going to be? What are we going to leave as a legacy for the next group of people that will come through here? That's when it starts to get exciting.
We have a great legacy of having the elevator here for many years, but even when it was put in, there's problems right from the start with people who are trying to get in and out of the elevator. Once they get out of the elevator, they had to go through heavy wooden doors. So we made a great stab at things, but I think now there's a new standard of accessibility that is out there that we really have to live up to invite people to come. In terms of the kitchen, we really have to make it a safe and effective place for a lot of the elderly people who do the work to actually work effectively in the kitchen. It's
Use of the kitchen is set up in such a way that as our membership ages, me included, the dishes and the serving places are so hard to get to. You have to basically almost turn upside down or get down on your hands and knees to be able to get them out of there.
We had Helen come down for some pictures to be taken by Warren for the campaign. Warren was practically moved to tears watching Helen struggle with the front door, and then not just struggle to get the elevator door open on the opposite side of the church, but how she so felt at risk getting out of the elevator with a walker.
Very heavy, and it's very difficult if you have some sort of a infirmity to get in there, so you have to hold the door open, and especially with me at this moment in time when I have a walker, I have to pull the door open and hold the walker at the same time before I can get in.
The congregation is very welcoming. When people walk through the door and sit in the pew, I think we do a really nice job of welcoming them into our community, and but sometimes what people see on the outside is not as welcoming. So
When the idea of a bridge was first floated or proposed, I didn't get on board right away, and it was only after realizing what it would do for the church, what it meant to the Sunday school program, what it meant to activities in the parish hall, to brides before a wedding, to families before and after a memorial service, to have some private space in a church facility with complete accessibility between the buildings. It made perfect sense to me. That's why Linda and I have decided to support this campaign, both financially and physically.
I'm excited about the Faith Bridge because it means that the kids won't have to come downstairs and then go back upstairs and to go across the street to come to church school every week. It'll be a lot safer, it'll be a lot better for everyone, the kids, the teachers, and the parents won't have to have such a big commotion to come over to church school with their kids.
One of our young couples that has twins in a stroller, trying to take 2 kids and another toddler and get into this parish hall where we are now for a Sunday school. It's virtually impossible.
We are equally enthusiastic about making the facility welcoming to the young. Pledge to be ongoing participants in the story of our faith journey, to worship, to educate, and to reach out.
I see capital campaigns as being a real faith driver for many people, and we all need to be challenged in some way. Bill and I were first challenged to challenge our faith and how much we gave to our church, and it changed our faith in a way that is hard to describe. And
my belief over the years, I've learned that we can't outgive God. It seems like you give what you need to, and He gives back even more in a different way.
How much has God given me that I have to be thankful for, and I want to be able to give back. So those are the things I would ask people to consider when they're making a pledge.
The future of our kids and our grandkids is so important, and the fact that the church be an important part of their future. I think that's the biggest inspiration to me to do a little more.
I guess I always feel like you give more back to something if you belong to it and you feel like you're a member of it, and that's what I wanted to do.
I hope that people really take this opportunity and give as much as they possibly can, because it can truly change your faith journey.
Our participation in this campaign is vital to our hopes for the years to come.
It really pays its way forward. The dollars that you give today are going to be multiplied many, many times over in what it gives back to the community. I feel that with God's grace and the prayers and the support of this congregation, we're going to push it forward well above and beyond what we can imagine today.
This church is what it is because of those that came before us. And it is now our turn to leave a legacy for the people who come after us. So we are stretching a little bit. And I'm happy to. I think it's for one of the best causes in this city. And I want this church to continue on. I want it to grow.
It's inherent for us to do this for future generations. We have an opportunity now to do this, and I think we should seize this opportunity and build for the future.
Always think about how lucky I am and how I'll never miss it. I'll never miss the money that I give to the church, and that it can only do good things. And so when I think about it that way, it makes it very easy for me to pledge a little more, promise a little more, give a little more, because truly I think the church will do more good with it than I ever would.
The need is real. We've been given 2 extraordinary buildings by the people who have gone before us. It is our opportunity now to take responsibility for the future. And I believe if we have faith for the future, we will make a significant difference for those people who come after us.